Hi, my name is Taylor Huffman, and this is my interpersonal presentation. A little bit about me. I work full time, go to college part time. I have a cat, and my favorite color is blue. My first topic is pseudo listening, which is giving feedback without actually listening to the message. Everyone is guilty of this. A lot of times we'll act like we're paying attention, just be like, yeah, okay, but we're not actually getting the message. I'm extremely guilty of this at work. I know that's bad, but a lot of times my coworkers are trying to talk to me when I'm focusing on handling my customers and working on other things, and I just don't have the time. My next topic is profanity, which is vulgar or obscene language. I think a lot of adults are guilty of using profanity, and even some younger generations. I'm extremely bad with profanity. It's gotten so bad at work that I have created words that I use in place of profanity because I keep getting yelled at by my managers. So at work, I'll say like biscuits and gravy when something goes wrong, and they know that I just messed something up and messed up an order. Things like that. It's part of who I am. I don't think I'm ever going to stop using profanity, and I'm perfectly okay with that. My next topic is intimacy, which is emotions, bonds, and closeness in a relationship. A lot of people look at intimacy as a purely physical thing, and that's not true. You can be very intimate with a person without actually having any physical contact. Like, I can tell a lot of intimate details with the people that I work with. There are a lot of the closest people that I know, because we have worked together all for so long. So I can tell them more intimate details about my life than I can, like even my mom, who is probably who I'm closest with. A lot of people just think it's purely physical, not so much. Commitment, a desire to stay in a relationship. That's actually the book definition. To me, there's a lot more to commitment than just relationships. You make commitments to yourself all the time, like I will get this project done by Thursday. This is a picture of my brand new, well, it's not brand new, but it's new to me, my truck. I got it in January, which is like the first biggest adult commitment I have made so far in my young 21 years. It's my pride and joy, and I've never been prouder of anything in my life other than buying this truck and making the commitment for 6 years to make a payment on it. Fingers crossed I pay it off before then. Stereotype. Generalization about groups of people that are applied to individual members of those groups. This is one of my favorite pictures on the internet. I have tattoos. I have 3. This individual has sleeves, and a lot of people judge. They've even judged me for having tattoos. And just because we have tattoos doesn't mean we are bad people. Sometimes we make questionable choices with our tattoos, but they all mean something to the person that has the tattoos. Compromise. A tactic used to gain something needed by both parties, each giving up something in return. Compromise is a big part of my life, especially with me working so much. I have to give up parts of my life to achieve other goals. I'm mostly compromising with myself, but in the end, I still get what I need done, and I still am able to do things I want to do and things I need to do in a balance. Interpersonal communication. Communication with oneself. If you do not talk to yourself, you need to try it. It works. Sometimes you need to shut the door, look at yourself in the mirror, and be like, look, you are awesome. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because trust me, there will be people out there that will. but you are awesome. You know your potential. You can do anything. And sometimes you have to be the one to tell yourself that. Empathy, the ability to understand others, how others are feeling. This picture is me and my mom the day she got married. We both went through a lot that week, and the goal was to keep each other sane. And this picture is one of the many times my mom and I were stressing out, and we had to hug it out and regroup. And a lot of times, a lot of people really do need to see that, especially from someone like me who doesn't show a lot of emotions unless they're really extreme. And empathy is a really big topic anymore. Everybody has to have empathy to do anything in this world anymore. Monochronic and polychronic. Time value to a person or a culture. The American culture is very monochronic. Time has a value. Every second counts. Polychronic, not so much. I try to stay as monochronic as possible because I know time is important and every second counts. But I lose track of time a lot. Like, I know I'm probably going over on this presentation, and I'm perfectly okay with that. Because like the picture, whatever, I'm late anyway. My bosses even know to expect me at least 1 to 2 minutes late because it's just how I am. And then image, how an individual wants others to see them. This is really important to a lot of people. To me, not so much. I've never been one to care what others think of me, how others see me, because I am the only one that knows my true potential. I know I'm a great person. I know I'm awesome. I hope others see me that way, and some people don't. And I am okay with that. And then you may notice throughout my presentation there was no real order. Things just kind of bounced. That's how my life is. I work 35 hours a week. I have 2 online classes that I can barely keep up with, but I try to make it work. And sometimes I have to, stop at work and finish a discussion board. Or, I'm in the middle of working on a project. My boss calls. I have to go to work. I don't have a lot of rhythm and balance in my life. Just kind of like this presentation. I just kind of roll with it and hope everything works. And so, thank you. That's my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it.